Off we go. She's heavy. Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I want to tell you about something amazing that happened to me yesterday, last night, as I was getting off work. I also want to take a moment to apologize if the audio quality is not quite what it should be. We got a little bit of wind blowing out here, so if you catch some of that wind, again, I apologize. But last night, my dad texted me just as I was getting off work, and he sent me a picture of this rototiller and this like yard trimmer. I don't even know what you call this thing. Walk behind weed eater? I don't know. Anyway, he sent me a picture of these things sitting in a dumpster, and he's like, do you want it? And of course, you know, I want it, because why not? Another project, right? Good stuff. So this rototiller was the first thing that caught my attention, mostly because you see this other rototiller over here. This is my rototiller that I've had for the last 2 years that I've been using, and it's been a good rototiller. It's got its little problems, you know, like the handle here for the forward and reverse. You got to put a bungee cord on that, hold that down while you're using it, but I mean, it works, does the job, right? But this rototiller, these two rototillers, for all intents and purposes, they look identical. So my initial thought was, you know, maybe I could take the engine off of mine, because the engine on this one, obviously, it's no good. The head is missing. There's no head. There's no, the pole starter is gone off the front of this thing. It's kind of fun. You can turn this. You can see all the bits and pieces moving up and down in here. But anyway, so my dad, he's like, do you want this stuff? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I got home from work, and I got my pickup and my trailer, and I went down to where he works, where these things were in the dumpster, and we loaded them up, this rototiller and this yard trimmer, and brought them home. And actually, the yard trimmer, one of the guys that my dad works with, he was kind of playing around with it, and he actually got it to run. Like, this thing runs. It's amazing. I checked it. It's got gas, it's got oil, but it does run. Maybe. Come on. Don't make a liar out of me. It's alive! It runs! It's kind of broken, so Come on, quit running. Die already. Stop. It'll quit in a minute. But, so it's got problems, but it does run. The guy that was playing with it, he got it to run. Come on, quit running. Come on. There. Okay, it's dead. But, I mean, it does run. There's no kill switch, or the kill switch is broken. Matter of fact, I think it might be part of the throttle here, which is also broken. So that's an issue. But, I mean, I don't even know how long he tinkered around with it, but, I mean, he messed with it for a little while. He got it running. The issue that he was having with it is he pulled the dipstick out, the oil. There's kind of a metal slurry inside. I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but like inside that dipstick hole where you put the oil in, it's got metal all through the oil. So this engine, it runs, but it's not in good shape. I mean, it's when you start getting metal in the oil, that's an indication of, you know, bearings are going bad, or piston rings are pretty well shot. You know, just lots of bad things. So the engine on this trimmer is on its way out, pretty much. It's not going to last much longer. But for me, for what I do, for how much I would actually use it, it might last me another couple of years, just the way it is. Maybe if I take care of it, put some good oil in it. Worst case scenario, if this engine does go south and go bad completely, I could go down to like Harbor Freight and get one of those cheap, I think it's Predator brand. I mean, just a cheap little engine to put on this thing, and I mean, it could keep going. That's kind of cool. But this tiller was, I mean, like I said, that was the first thing that caught my attention was the tiller. And it's so identical to my own tiller that I've been using. It's incredible. I don't know. My first thought was, well, maybe I could take the engine off of mine and put it on this other one, because this other one has some features that mine doesn't have. Like I've got, it's just on mine, my old one, it's a basic bare bones tiller, rototiller. I mean, it works, it gets the job done, but that's all it does, is it just works. This other one, the new one that I just got, it's a little bit newer than mine. Mine's kind of older. But I mean, it's got the nice aggressive tires on it, whereas mine has tires. This has this clutch to disengage the PTO, the tines. So you could use that to shut the tines off, so they're not running when you're using the tiller or when you're moving it around or whatever. It's got these little paddles here, and honestly, I'm not sure what the little paddles are supposed to do. The sticker, it's pretty well gone, but the sticker says something about like engaging and tines. So maybe that's how you turn the tines on and off, is with those. I'm not sure, but the more I look at it, the more I think, maybe I don't really need those things, and my tiller's still a good tiller. So maybe I'll just take a few bits and pieces off of this other one and put it on mine. Like the tires, I really like these nice aggressive tires. They're a good looking tire, as opposed to mine that are round most of the time. This pulley inside here, I don't know whether you can see it, this pulley right off the crankshaft of the engine, this one looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's got this rubber thing. The rubber part of the wheel engages on this lower pulley, and that's how you get your reverse. Normally it spins the one way and then it engages the other way and it spins the other way. So that's how you get your reverse. Mine, that one doesn't look very good, and that belt's not in the greatest of shape either. So I might take the pulley off of this one and the belt and put those on mine, and the tires. Definitely the tires. I like those nice aggressive tires. I think that'll be good for working in the garden. I don't know what else. I mean, mine's pretty sound. This old. They're both Troy built. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. They're both a Troy built rototiller. Mine's older, and I think they called it the Workhorse or something like that. I've got a manual for it. I'll have to look at the manual. But this one, it's actually got the sticker on it still. What do they call it? PTO horse model. That's what they call that. Tiller operating instructions. That's cool. It's got instructions. Mine, maybe it had instructions one time. Sticker's gone, but maybe. Oh, another thing I might do. This has got this protective plate, this little guard on the tiller box. Mine, that is gone. So I might try and figure out how I can get this on here, and make that work. So that might be good. Just take that off of there, put it on here. I don't know. There's still a hinge here where one used to be, but I mean, this is a hazard, because I could, if you're not careful, you could get your feet in here where the tines are and get all tore up. That's not good. So, another thing I might do is take all the tines off of here. Not because any of my tines are bad. I think they're the same tines. So I think you can get different ones to put on for different purposes. But none of my tines are bad. But I mean, you never know what might happen. Hit a rock or something, break one. So I'm going to take all the tines off of there and keep those just as a backup. So, I mean, this is cool. This is great. I really can't believe somebody threw this thing away. Other than the fact that, I mean, it's old. This is an old tiller. Mine is like from the 70s. I'm trying to remember what the manual said. I think it's like a 72, something like that. This one's a little bit newer, but not by much. So, I mean, it's old. Okay, that I understand that. You want nice equipment. You don't want old stuff. So, and where this is broken, it probably doesn't run anymore. It's kind of funny when you can turn the you can turn the I guess it goes the other way. You can turn that crank shaft around, and you can watch the components in the engine. So there's piston moving up and down, valves are moving. So let's see. Let me run you through it here. So right now, so let's see. We run down. I'm on the wrong stroke. So we want to start here. So first stroke, piston goes down. That intake valve opens up. And you're sucking air and fuel into the engine, and it starts to come back up. And you get that's your compression stroke. It's squeezing everything up. And then right now the spark plug would fire, go bang, and push that piston back down. And then your exhaust valve starts to open up. And as that piston comes back up, it's going to push all the exhaust, all those spent fumes, the air and gas and everything spent. It's going to push all that out of the exhaust. And then your intake valve starts to open back up, and it's going to suck more in and start over. So, I mean, that's cool. See how that works. But yeah, I think this would be a good project. Just pulling, the good bits and pieces off of this other tiller, put them onto mine, and then when I'm all done, I don't know, maybe I'll see if one of the other guys at work wants this thing. Just get rid of it. But I'm definitely keeping the trimmer. I like the trimmer. I think I can use it. I don't know what for. I'll find a purpose. It'll get used. It needs some work. I mean, the handle, look how much that handle moves. I don't think that should move like that. So, it needs some work. Of course, all my stuff needs work. But I think this will be fun. I got a good project. I got the roto-tillers. So, I'll probably be starting on those real soon. Get things taken care of. Anyways, if you like the video, please hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll keep the content coming. This is just a quick little video for you today, but we will get started working on these tillers soon. Until then, take care, stay safe, and enjoy your hobbies.